Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested and ready to begin your day. This is your daily tarot oracle, your daily insight on life and love for August 25th, 2022, also being timeless. Wherever you're catching it in time, it might be relevant or at least entertaining. It's general collective. Don't force it to fit your life. If it doesn't make sense, go ahead and toss it. But if you have questions about booking a private reading or any of my other services, go to the description or to the beginning or the end of the video and there'll be ways of contact. Definitely see what might be right for you. Definitely say hello. Let me know where you are in the world. I'm going to kick this off with Rider-Waite. Also, yesterday, low vibe energy, as I have predicted today, is, this energy that is elevating, but it's still not out of the woods yet. I know that this is a collective issue. Everybody is on the fritz. Everybody is either wanting to curl into a ball and just exist in that ball, or some are feeling highly intense and reactive emotions running wild. It's like those two things. I'm not really seeing any sort of gray area or middle ground. So time to be patient with yourself and others in this. So it seems to be a very high-strung time. Just be mindful of it. It is collective. It's not marginalizing what you're experiencing. It just sucks. So let's do this. We're kicking this off with, again, Rider-Waite. Okay. I'm seeing that path change for you in a positive sense. It's picking up the pace, and I see that it seems like it's gearing towards a more emotional path, which I can totally dig. I see that there's a lot that you're willing to leave behind. Awesome. And it also seems like this isn't going to be anything that knocks you over unless you let your emotions get the best of you on here. But I also feel like this is something that you have to really understand about yourself and understand when you're starting to feel tensions rise, that this is a potential red zone for you. I know that you'll want to potentially be reactive, but this is the test. Take that reactionary time and, well, what are you going to do with it? In the past, you would have been very impulsive with it. You would have been sabotaging with it. You would have even been borderline cruel with it. And it's all in the name of an emotional reaction, emotional upset. I see that still very much a part of you, but I also see that, why am I yawning so much now? It was fine a minute ago. I also see that your emotional intelligence and knowledge, even though you are feeling reactionary, is an advantage right now, and you can see you're pinpointing triggers on why things had occurred and why things had erupted in the past. And you're seeing the same setbacks with it now, but it's an opportunity for you to behave in a much different way. What I see here is it's an ending to the hard times with you. Yeah, you're going through a change. Yes, you're not going to be feeling so exiled, and things are going to start to really pick up the pace. So why is this happening? Why is this suddenly so different? I mean, what are you doing that is just so different? Let's see. Well, isn't that special? I see this as getting actual help. It's talking about diet being important and home help, but I think that this is actually help that you can stomach and let yourself digest. There's going to be help that is coming in a way that is very practical and has a different energy to it, which, thank God. Normally when things come out of the woodwork to help, it's usually a matter of what it can get out of you. What's the business transaction? Hold on. It's so hot. God, it tastes awful. But, okay, the home help with this, it doesn't feel condescending. It doesn't feel like it's done out of pity. I do have a sneaking suspicion that a lot of your rejection of the help in the past, I think that maybe you're hypersensitive. It's a very learned issue. But any sort of help that was being granted to you in the past felt almost mocking, like it was, in a way, picking on you. Even if it wasn't actively doing that, there was a sense of being disingenuous with it, and you couldn't even stomach having that around you. Major forms of rejection in your past, and I think that it was you who was rejecting it. So what about it is making it so tolerable now? What is the energy that has been transmuted in either you or it or both? Okay, apparently this wants to help come out. The Thinker, the Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Mathinka. I don't know why I said that. I don't know. Getting really stuck in your mind for a while. Maybe everything with you has been laying low, and all you've had is time to think. What did this gravitate, or what did this move towards? Okay, steady progress, wonderful, and I think I still want the bottom one. Notice the signs, and I want Archangel, no I don't. Apparently I want Angel Therapy. A lot of signs being noticed. What's this? Earth Angel. This was a major time of reflection for you, my dear. For a while, you were left with nothing but your own thoughts. And this time of reflection, it's almost as if you were looking back over your life and just, I think it's wondering in the current, why isn't anyone helping? Why isn't anything changing? Why isn't anyone doing anything? And getting lost at that, you start to think of, past where nobody has helped you or the help was unacceptable. And the hypersensitivity, this was something that I think you may have been picking up on about others. The genuine nature of yourself and the disingenuine nature of others and the help that they were looking, or that what pity they were trying to elicit as to make their life easier, was something that I think that you were able to observe, but not only that, take on as your own, because you didn't really have the ability to differentiate people's energy and what's yours and what's theirs. And it feels like you, probably through circumstance, overextended your energy as a way to have more of an experience, but also be able to understand another person, because when you absorb their energy field, you start to really pick up on what makes them them. But since you were doing that and you didn't really have a guard against yourself, you started to think that you were in alignment with those people. And while that may be true on some level, it wasn't anything that was authentic about you to you, which to me is telling me that you went through a lot of self-identifying stages in your formative years, and you might still not even fully understand who you are at this point in time, but you have what seems to be a better idea. The reason being is the signs that you have noticed in the reflection of the people of the past is where they were coming from and what were their resources at the time. And it's also bringing up this idea of emotional immaturity. Now this, I do feel from the counterpart's perspective, was something that has been reoccurring in the generations in their family. Do I think that you're emotionally mature? That's totally a possibility. We all have imperfections on various levels, and I know that I still have a ton of those. Who's to say that you don't either? I mean, we are all here with, as I am talking to you, get a notification. I think I'm going to add it into this. We all have things that we are working on. We are continual works in progress. What somebody else may be working on, you could be working on to a degree. So this is kind of where I'm kind of blending the ground on this, Yes, you are probably dealing with emotional immaturity, which is stemming from generational emotional immaturity and reactiveness built off of necessity, but also evolution of what seems to be the emotional immaturity and response. So not even fully aware of the opponent's part and where this is coming, you are seeing this in this, I think, opposing person, and deciding what about it is not resonating with you, and that's where you are actually able to reflect on what wasn't yours the entire time and separate yourself from. Does that make sense, or am I just talking in circles? Did your brain just kind of go like mine did? And I'm the person talking about it. You talk around in circles with it for a moment and it's just like, well, hang on a minute, what the heck was that? It's almost like Cheech and Chong's, whoa, man. Far out. Anyway, you are somebody here who is a very empathetic and loving person. And until you established healthy boundaries, this was often like the bleeding grounds, like you guys would bleed your energies into each other. And I think that's why you had to pull your energy back so much. You're somebody who is here to teach about love in all of its forms, but also there's the concept of tough love, not letting other people have access to you and to find the resources in themselves. So you, as much as it seems like you haven't been making any sort of progress, all of yours is happening behind the scenes. What you see in front of you has not been the internal story. And I see that this is actually going to be the launching pad for whatever your actions are. So you may be dealing or struggling with feelings of inadequacy or laziness or even procrastination as of recently. Everything that you are doing or everything that has been going on, you laying low, you doing like the bare minimum as far as interacting with others or having even patience and tolerance, this is all because everything is working behind the scenes. And what you actually can expect from that is the ability to overcome the hardships. Fives are kind of ruling the reading as far as patterns go. We also have seizing opportunities and looking towards stability coming forward. So I want to look into how this is coming about. You're not really dwelling on the karmic situation anymore. There's a sense of hope restored and a sense of facing your challenges and this facing your problems and actually letting certain things be water under the bridge. So we have play, and the bottom of the deck is trustworthy guidance, but then I actually want the top one again. So life purpose. Your life purpose is not to be a stressed out workhorse or somebody who is continually at a disservice. This chapter of your life is going to involve a lot of relaxation and play. Does that mean it's not going to be productive? Heck no. Hecking heck no. I see the playful childlike aspect coming out of you. The trustworthy guidance, if you look about the angel who's telling the person what is to be written, there's a half of a Merkaba. It's only because the other half is cut off from the image. There's a Merkaba that's above their head. You're going through an awakening that is completely rewriting your life. The life purpose is talking about you not running out of time, but also in the same breath, not wasting any more time. This is going to be a very important chapter. Yes, playfulness, but also constantly seizing the opportunities. It's not yesing everything to death. It's really taking a risk and chance. So what I see here is you're not even there yet. You're still on the fence, and that's fine. But the point is you have to recognize in the solitude, in the quiet, in the silence, and all that jazz, the work is happening behind the scenes, and you are not to make a decision or a major decision until this actually has you wanting to climb out of your shell. So in this we have the Two of Swords, and I guess these two came out. What are they? There's going to be a sense of peace being restored and juggling, surrounding by blue. Ascension and awakening. what is this? Five of Swords about? Yes, it's about change. Okay. So it looks like some of the toxic people in your life, you can't just escape from. Like, there's actually a necessity of them being in your life. Like, they have a purpose in your life. So instead of running from what seems to be this toxic energy, this is telling you to look at it in an entirely new way. Do I want you to subject yourself to abuse? No. Am I telling you to do anything dangerous, stupid, illegal? No. And this, it's learning how to keep even that toxic energy at an arm's distance and not get sucked into whatever its manipulation toxicity is, whatever its obsessive patterns are, whatever the bullheadedness is, whatever seems to be almost a slick attitude about it. You're going to learn how to juggle many different personalities with this. It's just, you know that you can't outrun everybody. And it's not the point of doing that. It's just, are you going to be able to ghost everybody? No, you're not going to be able to. So there's going to be some scumbags in your life that you're going to have to learn how to keep at an arm's distance and not entertain, but still let them be. They're going to be their own toxicity. You can't change them. You can't encourage them. You can't engage them. But you're going to be able to live beyond that energy. And I think that it's important that you recognize that they're still going to be toxic. Like, this is not just a passing fancy for them. This is part of their personality. I mean, we all have toxicity in us. It's a spectrum. It's on some degree. This a-hole right here happens to be on a massive end of the spectrum, and they are a massive a-hole. Now, I don't see you necessarily having to get away from them, but I also see that you're going to get the strength to actually live your life on the outskirts of them. You're not hiding from them. You're not running away from them. You're just not going to engage them. Even if they try and suck you in, you're going to keep your peace. The Strength card is talking about the courage that you actually need to live despite this type of person. You don't actually need to acknowledge them. You don't need to say 2 words to them. But you also can't just act like, you can act like they don't exist. Who am I kidding? It's just they can't stop existing in your world, but you choose how you react to them. And I see the intimidation around them. I see the fear. I see that this is going to take a lot of discipline because, as you know, when people like to talk crap, they like to really talk crap. And this is something where the more reactive you are out of this, the better. So any sort of response is what they want. So how can you exist around them and keep your peace? Ooh. Okay. Sometimes our soul bonds are our biggest teachers. You have to look at them as being one of your biggest teachers. They could be the biggest D-bag on the planet. And you can look at them with a seething hatred or an appreciation of whatever it is that the lesson they're trying to teach you. Maybe on the higher conscious level, because if you really think about it, what is the lesson that they're trying to teach you? Well, that they're bullies and that they suck and that you are somehow beneath them and you're not. So, like, that's not what I'm talking about, but think about the big picture of it and the higher perspective picture of it. This moron is around you to teach you about boundaries, firm boundaries at that, compassion, understanding, maybe not always for them, but also how you feel and how you react to them, and how to live despite their conflict that they bring. So this is saying you don't have to allow them around you, but also you can't let this person destroy your life. You can't stop living because you're afraid of Tweedledum over here. In fact, I think that you and letting them go is going to give you great closure, even if they are still in your perimeters. I see that soon they'll become the background noise once you accept that they are part of life and a part of your experience. And I think that once you get that closure with them, you're actually going to become rather blind to them. You're on a whole new wavelength. I see a lot of change actually physically taking place, a lot of quick communication. I also feel like this is going to be on, it's going to be somehow online. Yeah, but I see that living beyond them and not having their low abrasive energy affect you, this is actually going to clear your plate and allow for more things to actually come your way. I see it as passionate, abundant. I see it as very fiery, but it's also something that is very action oriented. And taking this action with you being the decider of this, it feels incredibly freeing, and it feels confident and outspoken. And that energy all around feels to be calming the waters, soothing the waters, and keeping a distance from what seems to be a past in here. So all around, I see it as being a very positive read. And if you have questions about booking a private reading based off of this, or for any other reason, or any of my services, reach out. I promise you, if anybody with my picture is reaching out to you initially, that is going to be a scam. You let me know when you're ready to work with me, and we'll set something up. And if they're telling you that they're Grand Rising ancestors, hey, you want to sponsor me? Hey, do you want to do this? They're spammers, and I want you to mess with them and send me the screenshots. I hope that this finds you well. And until next time, stay safe, have fun, know that you're greatly loved and appreciated. Bye for now. So there's going to be a gathering that you are going to either be attending or that you should be attending. It could be any kind of celebration, any kind of party. It could be anything from a wedding to a graduation to a birth to maybe a candle party. I don't know. It's completely up to you. But somebody who normally has their crap together is going to show how they are breaking. Somebody is hitting a really dead end in their life, and they're experiencing a lot of hardship, a lot of setbacks. This is normally somebody who's really calm, cool, collected. I see them completely losing grip, being completely ungrounded. They may be normally calm and docile, but now I see them kind of spitting venom and being very abrasive, if not downright verbally, mentally, or whatever the case, abusive. So I want you to be, first off, very self-protecting. I don't feel like you're in any danger, but this is going to suck. And understand that they're going through something really hard. It is not excusable for their behavior. Don't let them fool you. What's going to come out of it? You guys are probably going to go through what seems to be a little bit of a split for a while, and I feel like it's because they're unraveling. You can't be around it. So I see that this time apart from this energy, I do feel like it's very masculine. It's going to be very good for you and for them. I think they need to recalibrate and not put the blame on everybody else, but also you need to spend your time doing something else. And also I guess all in all, just not sticking around just because of loyalty to them. I see that you're going to grow better from this break in time from this person. And I see that even after that, what's going to happen for this connection? Ooh, the truth is going to come out. They're very nervous to tell you what's really been going on with them, because I don't think it is what you think. But I see that this is going to create a silver lining and a tower moment, and it looks like this person is going to have a slow restart, but whatever the problem is, this is going to be something that they get rid of down the road. They're going to be very open about it, and I think that they're going to be looking for support and grounding themselves, but you can't get around them while they're in the throes of complete madness. Afterwards, if you feel it in your heart, let them come to you. If you want to tell them F off, that's totally within your right. But they're going to come through with some clarity on why they were that way. And I see them having what seems to be a very slow restart. Now, if somebody is toxic, abusive, or doing anything illegal, do I want you to stick around them? No, that's not what I'm saying. This feels like somebody who's an extended connection. And I also feel like this is completely out of character for them. So give them space and let them come and explain down the road, if you can. If you don't want to, that's totally on you. Somebody who you have not been able to get rid of, they're going to be gone soon, I promise you. I don't feel like this is somebody you're currently in a relationship with. I feel like this is one of the unflushables from the past. So I see that somebody really effed up their chance with you, and now it's like they are trying to come back. This is somebody from the past. Yeah, of course, they probably see that you're doing either something amazing or that you're happy now, which that could fall in line with something amazing. And they're going to be hitting you up, either through messages or you might be bumping into them. My dear, you have moved on and you already made some sort of a commitment. And I see that going back would be not only incredibly toxic, it would completely F you up. And this is nothing that you want. I think that you're actually able to really look at this person from the past and very calmly but very sternly say that's a solid pass. This is going to be a major release for you. And I don't want you to take their pity. I think that you've given this person from the past plenty of chances, and they have misused all of them. I do feel like you would have given them the world in the past, but you would have been giving it to the wrong person. So it took you a long time to heal. And I think it took a long time for you to also have faith in relationships again. I do see that this is still something that would be toxic no matter how you try and swing it. You need to see it for what it is and let it go. I think that what you're heading towards, the path that you're on, it's the lovers that you had, that this person from the past had totally effed up. It's obviously going to be its own brand of it, but trust me, you dodged a bullet in that. So, all right, lovers is coming in. This feels like something that is a union that has a lot of potential, but this is for those who are not in a toxic, abusive, or legal connection, who have met the person that they are talking to and who do not have any sort of restraining orders. Yes, I gotta say that. And this one is actually something that is very calming, that seems to have helped you move on. And I see the commitment swinging both ways on this, between not the person from the past, but the current. And they have actually eased your heart in letting whatever this crap show of a past person go. So I guess that all in all, you're on the right track. It's the internal work right now, not the outer work that is showing right now. So what I see is there's been a lot of growth with you, mentally, physically, spiritually, what have you. You're just not seeing it represented in the surrounding area, but I don't see losing patience. This is an ultimate test to see your commitment and patience. I know it's so easy to relapse, go into old patterns of behavior with coping mechanisms. I don't see you doing that. This is a rite of passage for you. This is involving major life changes. Slow and steady is going to be the key point of this, because this is going to create, I guess, the idea of how solid this is for you. So I guess just because you're not seeing the results that you want on the outside doesn't mean that they aren't happening. Whatever is happening is creating the foundation very solidly inside. So after this has been proven, and after you start to see the payoff after a while, what? Ooh, momentum is going to be picking up, and I see that you're going to be upping the level. I see that you're going to be even more, I don't know, confident, excited, have a go-getting, disciplined attitude towards this. You're going to have the willpower to get through it. I see that this is something that you can easily find yourself getting very passionate about. And I see that that passion is really going to take off once you start to see the external results. But just because you're not seeing them now doesn't mean that it's not happening. And keep the pace. But also in this, don't let yourself become crazed, because this does say that you're going to be upping the ante. I don't want you to take this to a dark place. It doesn't need to become this gross obsession that's going to make you sick. I don't know, I'm just wanting to say that as a heads up as a life coach. I hope it was helpful. It's gonna happen. Okay, so I was reading this and I wasn't feeling the reading at all, but I felt like I need to keep the cards out. At first I thought this was about relationships, and it's not. This is not about relationships at all. This is about you and starting something new. And I want you to have confidence in this. I want you to get rid of distractions, and I want you to actually let yourself fall in love with this new beginning, this new start, this new project. But also, the confidence isn't meaning that you're going to be perfect in this either. You have to be willing to start something and admit that you're going to be either terrible at first or completely at a new state, and that there's going to be continual room for improvement in this. It's meant to be very humbling, but also very encouraging. This project is going to be amazing, but it is going to take a lot of your time. This project of yours is going to feel like a very primary relationship, but I see that this is going to be something that is very much in alignment with you, and it actually is an expression of your love. So if there's any blocks in front of this, I want you to really look at it and pick it apart, and really just allow yourself to be committed to your craft. This is obviously not at the expense of your life or your actual well-being, but let yourself be completely enamored in this. I really think that there's some magic there. So I hope that this made sense, and I hope that you put yourself into it. All right, so you've been wanting clarification on whatever this is, whatever you're supposed to be doing, and I feel like you're missing the sign completely. It's not as in your face as you think. It's actually something that is very subtle around you. But Spirit wants you to actually vocalize your question and what it is that you're looking for, but also start to daydream and let your mind drift and wander so that you can get your stinking answer. Spirit is trying to talk to you, but you're so busy looking and searching and seeking out the answer. You're not letting it come to you. Now, this isn't saying that this is your own fault. It's just, it seems like everything has had a sense of massive in-your-face signs, or even around everything that you've probably seen online. It's, you can't miss it. It's so big, and it's really not. It's that gentle answer when you're in a passive state. It's when you least expect it. It's when you're not looking for it. So this is talking about, first off, forgiving yourself because you put too much stinking pressure on yourself. You got to do something different and let the answer actually come to you. Now, I know that patience is not necessarily your best virtue. It's like trying to baptize a cat. You're going to have to stick with it. The answer will come, and it'll come in the appropriate time. You don't get to control when that answer comes and how it comes to you. And Spirit has made that very clear numerous times in everybody's life, especially my own. You have to learn how to be very calm, cool, and collected and waiting for that sign. But, and that's a big but, we are talking about what happens after it. We have perfect timing. So I'll take that, but I also feel like there's another card in here for it, which is have confidence. So yeah, don't give up. And this was actually bringing about the conversation that I was having with somebody earlier. You have no idea how long you can hang on or what you can endure if you just have a little bit of hope, even if it's just a sliver of hope and it seems like the odds or the timing is against you. You gotta have faith. Everything is happening in divine timing. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. Your answer in the course of action, it is coming, but you can't micromanage Spirit. So take a breather. You got to forgive yourself because apparently you have definitely hurt some people in your life and through your trials and tribulations on your path of finding yourself. Guess what? You can't keep punishing yourself in the way that you had done in the past, either to yourself or to others. You need to release yourself of that guilt. You can still hold yourself accountable, but you beating yourself up every second of every day is not going to do anyone or anything good. Heads up, some people aren't going to forgive you, and that's their path to follow, and you don't necessarily need to continually beg for it, even though you probably might want to. I think that you are vastly different, and yes, you are a person who is an expression of love, and chipping away to find that inner light being of yours, it took a very long time. But because of your past, I don't want you to think that your current path or your future is inauthentic. You're absolutely a light worker, but you kind of need to let the past die out. And if there's somebody that you owe an apology to, you can give it. If they don't want to be receptive to it, that's on them. Maybe they're not ready to hear it. This is something that you can either touch down again down the road, or just allow yourself the forgiveness and to move on. But I want you to release yourself of the old burden, the old story. You don't have to forget it. You don't have to change what happened. You can use it as a tool to be mindful of what's going to happen in the future with this. And I want you to let your heart open and be unashamed of the path that it has taken. So, am I judging you? No. Are you judging you? Probably. And you're going to need a lot of support and encouragement around you. You can try and make peace with your past through yourself or with others. But the point is, you have to make peace with your past. You can be held accountable, you can heal, you can move on, but you cannot stay stuck. So I hope that this is helpful to you. And also, I kind of want to talk about what's going to happen after this. Okay, so you are a powerful light worker, vacuum away fear. So I actually see that this is going to be something where clearing this is going to happen. You're not going to be massively hurt or attacked in the way that you think that you would. You are somebody who, yes, has gone through a massive change. I do see that there is going to be peace and acceptance, potential reconciliations and reconnections from the past, but peace is at least going to be at the heart of this, and you will feel this weight come off of your chest for what has transpired. And I think that whoever is deserved that apology, I think that they're going to be incredibly grateful for it if they are open to receiving it. And I feel like this is going to be an emotional, cathartic release for all parties involved. You don't need to be afraid. The fear is over on everybody's part. This is a very specific message. Somebody's parents are coming through on the other side, and I feel like you have been dreaming about both your parents. They may have been crossed over, or they may be sick and getting ready to cross over, but I also know that you do have a talent of mediumship, but you also have to acknowledge that you are in fact having a meeting with your parents. They are talking about holding yourself back with fear. This is not in your integrity. They know how brave you are, but they also know how you've kind of held on to a lot as a way to keep yourself stuck and in the familiar. You need to clear yourself of the old story that you're telling yourself. They're not going to let you just get away with fear and keeping yourself stuck. They're telling you life is too short. There's no more excuses. You need to reach beyond yourself. They love you more than you realize, and they see exactly where you are and why things are happening. You need to make a bold movement now and know that you are safe and protected. They're not going to let anything happen to you. You do have angels protecting you. You need to make a move. And they're saying you have nothing that should be holding you back in this. If it's materialism, this is something that is going to be replaceable. But you don't have the luxury of wasting any more time. It's time for you to make a move. They love you. They want what's best for you. It's time for you to reach out beyond this. So I think that you've been not only dreaming of them, I think that you have, I think that you've been seeing them in passing faces, which is very emotional. But also there's a thing with smell, like you have like either the scent of their cologne or perfume or something very specific towards them, and that's them letting them know that, or letting you know that they are around. So let's see. I want one more card on this. Serendipity. They're setting something up for you. This is your time. They actually want you to sit down and talk your fears out with them, and they're giving you their answers. I think you've been trying to have a conversation with your parents who are crossed over or who are about to cross over. They're giving you the signs, and it's like you're waiting for a sign upon a sign, but they're almost laughing at it because this is an excuse, again, that you're giving yourself. They said that they know that you're braver than this. Make your move. You're going to be protected. You're going to be taken care of, and they love you very, very much. You don't need to be afraid. I hope that this makes sense, and also I hope that this is not towards anything illegal or dangerous and just very interesting.